Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the QuickBooks Online demonstration. If you are in the Clubhouse room, that link so you can view the live demonstration is at the top of the room. Welcome to those who are coming in on YouTube, and for those who are coming on in the Create Financial Solution group on Facebook. Thank you for joining me. I am Elaine Forbes Daisley, and I do a live QuickBooks Online demonstration every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any question, please feel free to put them in the comment over on YouTube, YouTube and on Facebook. Now, Facebook, if you want me to know who you are, please make sure to say your name because I'm not able to see your name when you comment. And while I'm doing this, and then if you are in the Clubhouse room, you can put it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer any question on YouTube. Please feel free to put it in the comment. If you like these videos, good afternoon, Jermaine. If you like these videos and want more of this kind of video, which we're just demonstrating QuickBooks, please feel free to put it in a comment, DM me, let me know. If you have a question as it relates to QuickBooks Online and you want to see it demonstrated live, please feel free to put your question in. However, if your question is of a sensitive nature, please make sure to reach out because we know that when it comes to our money, it's sensitive. There are some sensitive information, and we don't want to put some of that information here for the public. Now, we are also using the sample company of QuickBooks Online. We're using the sample company online. Therefore, some features are not live and will not be able to demonstrate in these videos because we're using a sample company, since again, bookkeeping and your money is of a sensitive nature, and we do not want to put your financial information out there. I'm an accountant, hence my QuickBook I have my clients' information, so I would not be able to do a demonstration in the QuickBooks for my business. I can only be able to do it in the sample company. And like I said, some of the features are not live. So if a feature that you want to see is not live and you want to see the information, we'd be more than happy. We have a complimentary session. We can do a complimentary session and go over that feature so you can see it. I do hope you're hearing me clearly over here on Clubhouse. Let me know that you're hearing me clearly over here in Clubhouse. I'm just going to test to make sure the people over in the Facebook group and over on YouTube is hearing clearly. If you bear with me momentarily, and then we're going to start. Hey, Jermaine, do you have any question, any QuickBooks question, or the question should be, did you go ahead and get the QuickBooks subscription? Don't wait, Jermaine. Don't wait. Make sure that you get that subscription. All right. Let's see.
Did you go ahead? Sure that you get that subscription.
So how do I get out of this? All right. I had to go in and check that. All right. We see some question. Okay. Listen. Let's talk a little for those who are on YouTube. Let's talk a little bit about that. So here is one of the things that we do naturally. And I'm not to convert from where? To convert from where? Here is one of the things that we do naturally. We know we need something, but we put it off as long as we can put it off. And one of the things that we tend to put off a lot especially when it comes to our business, or maybe even our personal finances, is when it comes to dealing with our finances, we put it off a lot. How hard would it be to convert over? Where are you converting from? What are you using now? Let me know what you're using now. And then I can. Oh, okay. So good question. And here is what my say. You know what? I got to check something, Jermaine, because I did go into a self-employed and saw where it says upgrade. So I'm going to check it to simple. So here is my experience that I have with QuickBooks Online, especially when it comes to the self-employed version. I've had to convert 2 clients over. The problem is, and I don't know if QuickBooks fixed this, so if you're listening this on YouTube some other time, this also goes for you. If you have the self-employed version of QuickBooks, to convert over to the Simple Start or any other version of QuickBooks prior to 2022, because I have to check for 2022, you were not able to convert the information over to one of the online version. You would now have to take the information from and manually start, or that information that's inside of QuickBooks, hey Facebook user, that information that's inside of QuickBooks on self-employment, you now have to manually put it into the manually put that information inside of either version, whether you get the plus, whichever online version you get. It is time consuming depending on how much information you now have inside that needs to be done. So let's say you have 2021, and from January to August, you have to now put all that information in. The only good thing is that when you're taking that information, when you're putting it into the Simple Start, when you're putting the information into Simple Start, you can connect your bank account. So once you connect your bank account and your bank account is connected, some banks allow you to go back for 18 months. Some allow you to go back 2 years. So it's going to be dependent. If you are not able to go back for the data that is, let's say they only allow you to go back 18 months. 18 months would be to what? Maybe February of last year, but you also need January information, right? So for that, you have to now manually put that information in. So if you have a situation where you need to put banking information inside of QuickBooks, I do have a way to convert that information. So you can reach out to me. If you're watching on YouTube, you can put it in the comments. You can DM me. You can send me a message, or you can go to there will be a link that you can click and schedule a time with me. If you're on Facebook, you can put it in Facebook or DM me, send me a message. Over in Clubhouse, if you're watching this after the fact, the link is at the top of the room. Was that helpful, Jermaine? So we were just talking about to convert from this self-employment version to the Simple Start, whichever online version that is best for your company. Now, a lot of businesses tend to split this with the self-employed version. If you are in business, I recommend that just start with the simplest version, which is Simple Start, because you can upgrade to a another version, and that information is hysterically in your, and continue to put that, to use that information. It's not like you have to convert that information, upgrade. Hello, Miss Rashida. Thanks for coming in. So if you have any question, if you're on YouTube and you have any question, please feel free to put your question in, and we're just going to be planning QuickBooks today. So I hope that was helpful, Jermaine. I hope that was helpful. And for those who are on Facebook, say hello again and tell me who you are, because I don't know who you are, so I can address you. You know, I see Elaine likes to be social, so you know, I like when you all say hello, and I like to say hello back. I know who I'm saying hello to. All right, so now we're inside of QuickBooks. Last week we talked about how to make payments inside of QuickBooks, how to pay a bill. We show you the different ways you can use to pay a bill. So this week, what I want to go over, money in, which is, we're going to talk about invoices and sales receipts, and why would you use a sales receipt as opposed to an invoice. And then we're going to go through the actual process, receipt, the invoices, because it's going to be, you know, I got to write it down because I want to show you guys recurring transaction. I'm going to do that next week. I know I said I was going to do it, but I have to set myself up for it. So now, sales receipt. Let's go over the difference between a sales receipt and an invoice. Why would you send a sales receipt as opposed to an invoice? So the sales receipt is going to, when you go in and create a sales receipt, we're going to go to it. So I like to see it. I like to show it. So we're going to do a new transaction and go to sales receipt. When you create a sales receipt, what that means is that you're collecting that money right away. So if you were to get a credit card, if you were to get cash, it means that that money is available right away. So we're going to choose one of their customer. It's a sales receipt. And then you can choose the method of payment. And for this, we're going to use cash, because, or you could have received a check. And if you're not depositing the money right away, it goes to undeposited fund. If the money is, say it's an online payment, you can do the checking account, but so it's undeposited funds, check. We're going to give that check a number because we like that. And we're going to sell some custom design, and it's $75. Now, if you notice right here, it says total 75, amount received 75, balance due 0, which means that we just take the check. This money, we just took it. We took the check, and now we're going to save. We're not sending anything because it's not going to be sent. Because like we said, that. So once we do save and close, now if you notice to your sales tab, it shows right here that it's paid. It is paid. So if you're sending this to someone, expect them to send money to you, it's going to show that it's already paid. So that's the sales receipt is for anything that you're going to receive, whether you're going to receive cash right away. You're not going to do an invoice and expect them to pay for it. Now, once this money is received, in order to get it to bank, right, what that is that you create the sales receipt, you receive it. Now you would go and you would create a deposit. So let's say it's the check is sitting in your drawer. So undeposited fund is technically your drawer that the money is sitting in. So you would go to new and do a bank deposit. And here is the sales receipt that we just did. You click on here and it's going to show up that you select the payment for $75. And then we're going to do save close. So what that does, it's going to take it out on deposited fund. So that money is no longer in the drawer that you had it in. You took it out and took it to the bank. Oh, now back and check on that payment. So we can click from here because we want to make sure it go to the and see one link deposit. So we can click on here. We can click the deposit. We want to check, and it went to the checking account. This see, it shows the $75, and that was deposited to the checking account. So you took that check to the bank and deposited. Here is something you also have to be aware of when you're creating a deposit. So let's say all those payments was made and now you're going to the bank, but it's not just the check that you got from this clinic. You are now going to create a deposit. So we go to new bank deposit. And let's say all this money was sitting in the drawer and you're going to deposit. You can now check on this. And what will happen is that the deposit is going to show for $2,062.52. This is one of the errors that a lot of mistake that a lot of businesses make. So when they do not create a deposit in QuickBooks. So you took all the checks from your drawer and go to the bank and make a deposit. So now when your bank statement comes in, when your bank is uploaded to your QuickBooks, it's going to show the total deposit for all the checks that you deposited. So in order to make sure that you're not duplicating entries, you want to make sure you deposit for all the monies that you take to the bank and was deposited. That makes sense. I'll see a question over here. All right, thanks. Thank you so much, Joyce, for coming in. So that's how you record. That is how you record. You create a sales receipt and then you deposit. You received the money is already received. So we're going to do an invoice and show you the invoice and actually show you one of the things that is different with a sales receipt. So when the sales receipt, it goes straight to deposited fund, right? So now let's close this. Yeah, we're not going to save it. All right. Is there any question? If there is any question, hey, Silky, welcome so much for joining us. And if you have any question, you can please feel free to put it in the chat, or you can click the link at the top of the room and head on over to YouTube, where we're doing the live demonstration. If you have any question about QuickBooks, whether you're new to QuickBooks, whether you're a seasoned user, you can ask any question. I'll be happy to answer those questions in the live. And like we always say, we're in the demo company, and some features are not live. So please remember that when you ask your question, that if the feature is not live, we'll not be able to demonstrate it live, but you still can reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to do a complimentary consultation with you. All right. So that's how we do the sales receipt. Now, the invoice, we're going to do an invoice and we're going to show you the process of how to process the invoices. So we're going to go and we're going to do invoice. We're going to click invoice and it brings the screen up. And now we're going to do basketball camp, now their address. Now let's say that we want this invoice to be paid in 15. We want it to be paid in 15 days. You can choose your term to be due upon receipt, or you can do net 10, any of these terms. But we're going to put this in, let's do due upon receipt. Yeah, we want it to be due upon receipt so I can show you what I'm. All right. And let's see. We want this to be garden lighting, and we're going to say 2,500. All right. Now, unlike a sales receipt, if you notice, it has a balance due, which means that we're going to send this to the customer. And then we're going to save and close. Normally we would save and send. A sample version does not allow you to send an email because we don't want it to go. All right. So now here's something that once the receipt, the invoice is created, let's make sure we refresh this screen. Okay, it's here. I wanted to make sure that it pops up. Okay, it's right here. The difference between the sales receipt, let's open this so you can see, there's a sales receipt, and the invoice is the process of what after you send it. So upon receipt, because you can do an invoice and it's going to be paid the same day, it's due upon receipt. Now you have to receive the payment. So remember, when you send the invoice out, it goes out and the customer is going to take a day or two, or maybe paid within the 10 days or whatever. Now, when you receive the payment, you're going to go to the customer invoice and click receive. Hold on, so when you do a sales receipt, the step of receiving, you do not do that step. That step is it because you would have gotten the money right away. So it would show as paid. If the invoice is not paid, it's going to show as open. So when you do receive payment, you can do the payment method and say that you got payment by MasterCard. This you need to make sure that is correct, because if you are getting paid by one of these by a credit card, if you're getting paid by a credit card, you need to make sure that you change it from undeposited fund and put it to your check if the credit or the account that the money goes in for your credit card, because you're not going to have a physical check. You're not going to have a physical cash. So you want to make sure the money is deposited to the account that the credit card, the payment processing. Let's say that this payment was MasterCard, but your MasterCard was attached to a PayPal. Then you need to put a PayPal up here. Let's say you have Stripe or Square. You need to have Stripe and Square set up with whatever the payment processing that you're using to process your credit card. That's the account that needs to go where it's deposited to, right? If you put it to undeposited funds and you receive, let's say this was a check. Let's do that process first. They send you a check and it went to undeposited fund, you receive the payment, you're going to save and close because you now received the payment. The next step is to make sure that you now go and create a deposit. And now you got to make sure that it's going to the right account. So it's the bank. And now you got to choose, where did we get this 2,700? Dukes. And now you create the deposit. So when it shows up in your bank, you can now match the deposit that's in your bank. Please also bear in mind that normally when you do a deposit, it is, especially when you're receiving check, those deposits are made up time of more than one check, more than one customer. So you got to bear that in mind when you are doing your, hey, yes, man. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on in. Is there any questions? So today we went over the sales receipt. Why would you use a sale when you use a sales receipt? And then we go over the invoice feature. And whether you use a sales receipt or invoice, if you receive cash and check and the money is not going straight to the bank, then you want to make sure that you are going in and create a deposit, because when you receive the payment, it's going to go into undeposited funds. Question? Any question? Did that make sense? And guys, if you are in the Clubhouse room and you would like to see the live demonstration, we are live in a Facebook group, Create Financial Solution, and we're live on the YouTube channel. To those who are on the YouTube channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and leave a comment. And like I always say, it's social media and I like to be social. So make sure that you say hello to me, because I like to say hello. So thank you so much for those who join us. We are here Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we go for about half an hour, 35 minutes, because I lost my voice to COVID. After that, my voice tends to start going away. Any question, Jermaine? Hey, Silky, are you a QuickBooks user? Are you already using QuickBooks? Is this new to you? And you can put questions in the chat if you have any question. I'm just making sure. So you can use now. Another thing is, if you already receive the payment, let's say you got an on payment, right? You can create, so let me see if there's an example in here that I can show you real quick. These all have deposits. I'm going to look for an online payment to show you real quick. All right, this payment here. If you receive this payment in your bank account and it's not yet entered inside of QuickBooks, and if you categorize this as income, where is their income account? Let's say sales product income. What this is going to do, QuickBooks is automatically create a sales receipt. QuickBooks is going to automatically create a sales receipt for you, right? So if you want to make sure that stuff, and you can choose the client. Now, if you already received this inside of QuickBooks and you go ahead and do the deposit again, then what you're doing is you're duplicating the transaction. And that is something that is not good. You're stating your income, right? You're overstating your income, and you do not want to overstate income. You want to make sure that you are managing and recording your income correctly. Rashida, you have any question? I'm going to jump off of here now. If there is no question on the YouTube, please remember to like the channel. Give me a thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe to the channel so you know when I go live. And every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live, share QuickBooks online demo. If you have a question, have something you want us to see, to show you, or anything that you need an explanation for, please feel free to put it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to do a live demonstration. Just be aware that not all of the features in QuickBooks is in the sample company, because we do use a sample company. Not all the features are in the sample company. So we want to make sure that your financial information is protected and secure, because we know it's confidential and there's sensitive stuff. So we don't want to show your information to anyone. So if you have a question, even if it's a sensitive question, please feel free to reach out to me. If it's sensitive, do not put it in a chat. Do not put your sensitive information in the chat, because we don't want everybody all over in your business. You know what we mean. All right. So with that said, we are going to say have a good day for today over here on YouTube. Thank you for joining us, and be back here next week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, you all over here on YouTube and in the Facebook